Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 of IG versus CLG, your Beyond the Summit World Tour Grand Finals. Presenting today is myself, LD, as well as Luminous, both of us from dotacommentaries.com. Well, IG, they go for the... I'm not even going to call them troll bans anymore. They ban a bunch of low-tier heroes, and CLG says this time around, we're not going to play your game. We're going to ban some real heroes. They get a Darkseer first pick. IG quite content to reply with the Rubik, the Shrek. And we'll have to see where the draft progresses from here, but CLG not having any part of IG shenanigans this time around.
Maybe IG's just really afraid of Sniper. I mean, 810 range, 3k range on Assassinate, best passive in the game from the Spear Breaker.
You know, it's funny because you cast, this was way before I was even casting, but Sniper used to be a decent carry, especially when teams were turtling a lot before Smoke of Deceit was introduced.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure he fits in as well nowadays, but either way, I mean, maybe there's a rhyme or reason behind it. I personally think they're just trying to leave their heroes in the pool. CLG get definitely some of theirs. Darkseer, Venomancer, and pajkatt's Invoker. But IG, look at what they've got in their hands on Rubik, Leshrac, Morphling. So many strong heroes already picked up in this game.
I'm very, very surprised that they went with the Morphling hero. I mean, they have a great Morphling player, Zhou, but to me, I think Sand would have been a beautiful pick. Maybe they're going to slide Rubik over as a secondary support. Last game, it was about the Naga, it was about the Shadow Fiend, but to me, what really won the game was the Sand Leshrac combo. They were just stunning everybody. Chuan, either 2-man stun, 3-man stun, Epicenter, always on point. Just beautifully play Sand King. And wasn't the flashiest hero, because we've seen him all the time, but just very, very effective. But instead for now, Sand King gets banned out here. And it's going to be good on Morphling from Zhou. We might see a little bit of a longer farming game just from the, conception of what Morphling does. But don't forget, like, he is probably one of the best killing carry hero out there with the waveform. He can just get an early BKB and just go to town in mid-game teamfights. So many versatile ways to play the Morphling. I'm getting tongue twisted.
No problem.
Too excited, man. Too excited.
I'm with you. I'm almost peeing my pants with excitement. I'm not, but I feel like I want to. Ferrari. What I want to say about this IG lineup is I think Rubik and Leshrac will be the supports. Morphling can farm in that safe lane, but we've seen a lot of the Chinese teams like to go 1v1 mid against Invoker with that Morphling. And if that's how they want to play the matchup, Morphling can win that matchup, even if it's an Exhort. Okay, forget about any of that discussion. CLG get their hands on Pudge. I have no idea who's playing this. I have no idea what their plans are. But look at the ganking power, the killing power of this team. Pudge, man. It's Pudge.
I mean, I just think Chinese teams in general they're not prepared for Pudge, right? Pudge is Chinese is all about great positioning, don't get caught, fight team fights, very coordinated, very methodical. When that hook's flying in and you get caught, all of that stuff goes out the window, all your lines are broken. You gotta keep in mind there's a Darkseer here. That Pudge will always be moving with haste. If you get hooked, that Iron Shell is gonna do ridiculous amount of Iron Shell plus Rot, anybody? I mean, that's insane, right? So now you can see that Faith is gonna take extra time, think about the picks. I mean, this pick goes all the way back to the international #1 when Navi picked it against eHome in the grand final. It worked beautifully. eHome just got shredded apart when their heroes got caught out of position. Now, of course, those hooks have to land, but you don't pick a Pudge for fun.
I'm not so sure they even have to land this game. There's a Malefice, Cold Snap, Gale, Surge. I mean, this is sure you want them to land. It's like you said, it pulls you out of position. But there's so much behind this Pudge, so much backing him up. I feel just him charging in Brody and Dismembering is going to get a bunch of kills. Now, we'll have to see how CLG want to lane this one, and also if IG can find any openings themselves. They have some very potent supports. Rubik, Leshrac, Beastmaster, a lot of chainstone there. And Tiny is the final pick. What is going on? Now, this is a hero we see occasionally on some Western teams. I have never seen a Chinese team run it. I'm very curious to see how it's played. It is Ferrari playing it, so I guess he'll probably be mid. Man, the bans were a little bit odd in game 1, but now my world has really been blown. I've been thrown for a loop, Lumi. I hope you have as well. We're just going to learn along with you viewers, see how what these teams want to do. Very interesting draft. I'm excited, and you all should be too.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what this Tiny will do, aside from being your standard, one-shot Tiny, Avalanche toss. CLG is just going for big lulls, both teams perhaps agreeing to have a fun draft. And, I mean, this is the way to do it, right? In the grand final, of many people watching. Let's introduce the players. Zhou is going to be playing the Morphling. YYF on his standard Beastmaster. His Beastmaster, extremely impressive micro and map awareness. Faith on the Shrek here. Chuan playing the support. Rubik had a beautiful Sanking game last game. And Ferrari going mid. 430 Tiny. Instant reaction, says Lacoste.
That was not reaction. That was erection for Lacoste. He's excited by Ferrari playing this one. For CLG, it is going to be Misery on the Pudge. Looks to be rushing an Urn. Akke on that support. Venomancer charging towards Roshan, or maybe just trying to get a pick off here. Miracle on the Enigma, and who do we have following him up? Lacoste on that Darkseer. We'll probably be soloing the offlane. Pajkatt looks like he's going for the Wex build again. This is a game where I thought maybe we'd see Exhort, just because they have so much to set it up. No Disruption, but Malefice Gale, as well as Rot, would be more than sufficient. But no, he wants to go for that mid-game powerhouse build, and really, it could work out well. IG, very mana-dependent lineup. 3 heroes that don't have the best mana pools in the Morphling, the Beastmaster, and the Tiny, and who need to have mana to be effective. So I don't mind this build at all, but I thought maybe he would go for Exhort.
Perhaps we're going to see a little bit of dual lane mid? No, yeah, we are going to see the dual lane mid. Zhou is going to get a little bit of help from Chuan, and they're going to play the mid lane. Faith is going to be supporting up top for Ferrari, so not the solo mid Tiny. And we're going to see a dual lane Pudge. Now, you guys are playing in pub, and you only see Pudge on the mid lane. That doesn't really work in pro games. When he's playing in pro game, he generally gets the defensive dueling here, making sure that he gets the early level, get him the early quick boots of speed. It is so vital for him to get that early level. And don't give away too much farm in the mid lane.
This is one of the mechanical things we haven't talked about, is that Chuan could steal that hook, which has basically no cast animation to it on Rubik, so it just sort of juts out of him instantly. Now, hook can be difficult to steal because you can toggle Rot, and that is something you don't want to steal as Rubik, as he's already quite squishy. But just so many possibilities this game, and looks like IG are just not going to put anyone bottom. They don't want to deal with that Pudge. YYF is going to jungle, probably stack the neutrals, and then either kill them with axe spam, or maybe just pull them. This is something the Chinese teams like a lot, but it's just curious to see them do it and abandon that bottom lane entirely. Now they don't have to babysit Misery. He can just free farm here by himself.
Yeah, and also that allows Akke to go on the mid lane to support this lane, because, Pajkatt by himself, as great of a player as he is, against this dual lane that can basically kill at level 3, he's got to be very, very careful. And having Akke here as a reinsurance is very powerful, and that's because, well, Beastmaster's jungling it up with this kind of pool. But, I mean, this is going back, 3 or 4 years when Merlini started jungle with Beastmaster. We're seeing here again, using WoW Access to pull, using WoW Access cut trees and all that stuff. WoW I've messed up a little bit here, but no big deal. He's going to get a quick bottle, I imagine. Yeah,
bottle is so good here, and if he's able to ferry it, which he should be, I believe mid lane IG will have the advantage with the runes because they Morphling is more mobility, and if CLG ever try to go for a Chuan, can throw them back. So I think with telekinesis away from, they should be able to control the runes, and well, we'll have to see if they want to do so. Then that will free up the courier to be ferrying that bottle. In the top lane, it is Ferrari and Faith in a dual lane here, and well, this is a much better lane for Darkseer than what we saw last game. There's no guaranteed setup like the net. There's no guaranteed follow-up like the Burrow Strike. It's only Avalanche, which, although it's reasonably reliable, but it's really not a guaranteed stun. And you need that against Lacoste. Here we go. They want this kill. Some auto attacks come at Chuan with the backstep. There's a surge, breaking the ankles of IG. Will it be enough, though? Doesn't look like it. Lacoste will go down here. A couple more auto attacks. There you go. First blood picked up. But man, he just ran circles around them. For a moment, that had Woe Dota written all over it. In the end, just one hero too many.
You know, Woe Dota that doesn't become a Woe Dota is just one of those, fail moves. But hey, it was worth a nice attempt. YYF on the bot lane. Level 2 Misery going for the hook. He's like, get out of my lane, man. I mean, you don't start here. You don't deserve to be here. And with level 4 Pudge, I mean,
you don't deserve to be.
Yeah, seriously. If you don't have the balls to be here at level 1, man, get out of my lane.
Well, let's be fair to YYF here. But yeah, Misery is going to have a good time here with the level advantage. Now, normally I would say Beastmaster can win this lane 1v1. Maybe not in the off lane as much, but he just has such good base armor as well as a nice base damage. And the axes will really hurt Pudge because they're mixed damage. They do some physical. But with Pudge having the early levels in the backup, YYF has to be ever so careful. The boar could be helpful to body block the hook, so keep an eye out for that. But they're forced the Enigma down to bottom lane for the moment. Miracle fails. He'll go back to the jungle. And Miracle's Enigma, this game, we'll have to see if he gets a little bit more time to farm. Game 1, he got big. Game 2, well, not so much.
Right, I mean, the difference between last game and the previous game where he played Enigma and farm, in an hour or so, I felt like, is because the other team, EG, gave them a lot of time to farm. Whereas in comparison, IG just went for aggressive pushes. How ironic to see the Chinese team, initiating with aggression. I also love the fact that YYF have gone for the board. He is using to body block like you mentioned. Also the slow is so important to keep yourself alive from that rot slow. By yourself, you're not going to run out of rot range.
He's going to need some help. He really can't... Oh, YYF might be in trouble here. Here come the axes. Going to reveal Pudge, but also give Misery free access, and YYF looking to be absolutely screwed here. The board doing so much work. Look at the damage. There's your hook, though. They get the kill. The board despawns. And this is not a fun lane for Beastmaster anymore. If it was... He had his moment of glory with the harassment there, but with that kill picked up, Pudge ever so close to 6. Ahead in terms of the items. No boots up for Beastmaster, which means big trouble for him. Akke eats away for mid. Zhou comes in, couple of auto attacks, not going to find that kill. But the potential is there. And one thing we haven't mentioned, this mid lane, although pajkatt will be able to stay alive, he's not going to get the levels he would hope for.
Yep. I wonder what kind of build we're going to see out of that Tiny. I feel like right now IG is a little bit behind. That Pudge is going to get really, really big. And they're not really getting anything big substantial in return, right? Tiny's not getting excellent farm. I mean, he's got 24 creepy on 5 minutes. That's pretty impressive. Is he going to go for the phase boot? He's not. No, he's going to go for Arcane. So this is more of an old school Tiny build that we see. Nothing out of TC. He's avalanching forward, but toss for a little bit of harass. He's not going to really get the kill.
With the Arcane Boots pickup, it will be pretty helpful to combo with Leshrac. They can spam those nukes. And one thing to be mentioned is Faith is getting some levels in farm. Bottom lane though, it's YYF gets called out. Miracle with the Malphus to start. Misery so low, he really wants to find this hook. Can he do so? Miracle thought about the body block. Turning around here with the axes might be a kill for YYF. This could be a huge play. Has the markings of it potentially. The chase a long way. Where's the Malphus? The Soul Ring calling down the axes. Look how low everyone is, but Dismember and a hook probably going to be enough. Where are the nukes for Misery and Miracle? There's the hook. Rotifal and the Dismember. YYF so close, and yet so far.
I love Misery. He's not rotting. He's just preserving his HP until he knows he's going to hit the hook. He hits it, and now he's going to look for the 8 rune, or 6 rune. If he finds this rune, man, that's going to be absolutely huge. Oh, it's a haste.
Oh,
the best rune possible, and he's going to see Zhou in the mid lane. It might be a Morphling, but, you're going to hit the hook, drop that urn, no problem. There's a hook. There's a kill. Pure damage. That curse. It's like, where do you go?
Misery. Well, that pure damage. Yeah, good luck to Morphling trying to morph out of that. What it does about... Well, how much HP is he? And that's the thing, is if he's heavily morphed towards agility, which, he's not so much, but that hook does half of his health instantly. That's a lot of lockdown. Plus, you got to keep in mind, Dismember will be helpful for killing him off as well. And that's the nice thing about Pudge. Yeah, he's not going to scale that well into the late game. Theoretically, he could, but probably he's not. But he gives you great additional lockdown in addition to that initiation. CLG just having a really good start for a team that definitely needs it. They don't have much late game, so they need to be doing this.
You know what? I think Punch is going to scale just fine in this game. If you look at the damage coming from IG, sure, there's a Morphling, but even Morphling depends on that magical damage quite a bit. It's a Tiny, it's a Leshrac, it's a Beast Smasher, and a Rubik. They all nuke, and if you have a lot of kills, which he's getting right now with Flesh Heap, he is going to be huge. I'm not sure where they can kill Misery, at least reliably, without throwing way too many spells on him to make it worth it. I feel like Misery's going to get big, and he's getting the free farm to do so right now. All the lanes are just farming, and I think that favors CLG, even though they're up against a Morphling.
Yeah, it's a lot of magical damage, and it is an Arcane Boots Tiny. I will say IG had some good physical damage. Edict does do mixed. Some of that will be hurting pretty hard. Plus Morphling with the Beastmaster aura, the tiny right clicks, if he ever gets something like an Aghanim's up, we're a long way from that. But they do have that physical damage potential. Now, will they get there? We'll have to wait and see, but I suppose enough theory crafting for now. It is a lead for CLG, not an overwhelming one. Mid lane, it's pajkatt, maybe overextended. Surprise Chuan didn't go for that. They have so many wards mid, very concerned about that Pudge showing up and collecting some kills. And the thing for CLG is, they've just had Miracle farming away in the jungle this entire time. Soul Ring picked up. Is there anything on the courier? Well, he's pressured bottom a few times, but he's definitely getting a good farm.
Yeah, now YYF can't really go back to a bot lane anymore. He realized, like, if he's a gold there, he's going to just die. The courier trying to do a little bit of bottom crawling for him, but YYF so far behind. He is going to be looking for level 6. I imagine he's going to gank on the top lane, though. Splurf, that's going to miss. Ferrari now is going to get TP upon. That's a punch. That's a free kill. Are they going to chase for another, though? Here's a surge. Faith is basically dead. And guess what? Misery's going to get yet more kills. Once he starts to level that flesh heap, his HP is going to just fly. I really don't think they could deal with this push.
Well, maybe giving him absolute free farm in that bottom lane was not the way to go about it. There we go, Tornado, as well as morphing straight, not an Urge Charge there. pajkatt, will he really go for this? There's the hook! Misery! Out of control, indeed he is unstoppable. And if you give a Pudge free farm, if you don't have that many mobility skills, this is what can happen.
And now he's not done. He sees Chuan. And Chuan says, I'm not level 6 yet. I can't steal nothing yet. Oh, he's gonna go for it, and he's gonna miss. Now, here's one thing about Pudge. If you're playing Pudge, if you're learning to play Pudge, akke gets picked up, but no big deal. Just a defensive telekinesis. As I say that, though, perhaps we're gonna toss the Shrek? No. One thing about playing Pudge is just keep throwing those hooks. You're gonna miss a lot, but if you hit, every time you hit a hook, it's a kill.
Well, if you're Misery, maybe you don't miss. I don't think I've seen him miss a hook yet this game. He's been very patient with them. Oh, but you're right.
You missed one behind the tower, but no big deal.
You're right. Even if you do miss a hook here or there, the main thing is, the hooks that hit, those are the ones that count. You really don't lose anything by missing a hook most of the time. Once in a while, maybe it'll cost you your life. But generally, it's not a big deal if you miss it. But if you don't throw it, you never know. It's sort of like trying to ask a girl out. Might as well go for it, see if it works. Misery, what a start for him. Urn picked up 1,400, and he's got 6 charges of Flesh Heap already. It's only 5 strength now, but like you said, that's going to increase significantly when he levels up. And this was a recent buff in Dota 2. In Dota 1, if you didn't actually have a point in Flesh Heap, when you got a kill, you would never get those bonus charges. But now in Dota 2, you do. So every time he gets a kill, even before Flesh Heap has skill points in it, those will come back to help him later on, and they're doing so now. This is a big Pudge. This is a very scary Pudge. Still for IG, they've held on to their tier 1s. They haven't really lost too much map control. Pudge is scaring them, but they're not losing towers. They're not completely falling apart just yet.
Just yet, and perhaps that's the key word, though. They are going to set up a big gank against Lacoste, waiting for the creep wave to get right there, and no, they're going to go for it right now. Beastmaster Ward to open it up. The Shrek Edict Splitter, perfect chains done like it was in textbook. And look at Ferrari trying to get the chaos with the toss. The hook hits from long range. YYF gets this member. That's yet another free kill. Goodbye to your push. And IG now has to back off. Inbreed Stream gets popped behind enemy lines. Misery, he wants more. He's going to go in.
Misery? Where is our Misery? Oh, there you go. I was thinking Miracle for a second. I always get those two mixed up a little bit. But yeah, Misery with that Invis Rune. This is going to be trouble if he catches anyone. And look at IG's lineup. There's just so many easy kills here. Leshrac, Rubik, even Morphling we've seen. A hook does about half his health. And with any kind of follow-up damage, Zhou is so screwed at this point.
With the Invis Rune, I think he's going to open up with Bite. And we're going to have a Gale to follow up. Maybe waiting for Darkseer to get in position. Yep, with Surge, they should be able to do it. And now they're going to open that one up. There's going to be a Bite and the Rot. And don't block his hook, my friend. Don't block with the hook. He's waiting for the waveform, but with the haste on him. Oh! He misses the easiest one, but, a kill's a kill.
But like we talked about a little bit in the pregame, even if this Pudge misses his hooks, there's just so much backing up. The slows, the surge. And now he's got the HP where he can Rot very freely. Looks like he's probably going for a pipe. Even a hood would be fantastic here. Sometimes we'll see a Vanguard, but I do think a pipe would be the better choice in this game to buff up the team. I really support them. And what do you know, Lumi? He gets another haste rune because really Misery is not having good luck already this game.
He sees a career. He's not going to go for the career. He sees a kill. There's a hook against Faith. Free kill here.
Really?
He's going to kill everything. Yeah, he's going to go for Chuan now. There's a Dismember toss. Not going to cancel it. Oh, unlucky play. And he sees Tiny. It's going to be a triple. There's a triple kill for Pudge. Who? Dendi, who? It's Opa Misery right now. The Misery show, and he has his hood if he wants it.
It's getting to that point now where I just want to lock my camera onto Misery as Zhou may be in some trouble top. No, there's no Dismember, so he'll live. Only for now, though. I feel like I could just leave my camera on him and, go have a beer so that I'd come back and we would not have missed any important action. Let's actually talk. 11 kills, and he has every single one. I knew he'd been getting a lot, but Jesus Christ, man. Maybe this Pudge deserves a ban. Now, it is fair to say there's some delay on both sides, so maybe that's something to do with it, but let's not take anything away from Misery. Playing out of his mind. Bottom lane, EMP Tornado. On to Ferrari they go. Black Hole on 2. Where's the Darkseer wall? He doesn't have it. He's only level 7. The vacuum back in. And look at the follow-up. The Cold Snap. Faith goes down, and are they done yet? Miracle really wants this. Diving past the tier 2. Thinking about YYF. They're not going to get him. They don't have Misery. And it's probably for the IG, so it's for the best that Misery wasn't there. Or that might have been more than YYF if anyone else TP'd in. And IG at this point, I mean, CLG don't have an amazing push lineup, but Pudge is a great pusher in his own right. You and I often talk about Night Stalker, as a good pushing hero because of the way he can zone enemy heroes off the lane. With Pudge, it's even worse, just because he can kill you from behind your tower with a good hook. And I mean, look at how IG's playing. They're afraid to leave their base. They will never walk past these towers, and if they do, well, they usually die.
Yep, they usually die. That's a good way to put about it. I imagine when Flesh Heap is maxed out, he's going to be close to 1800 or even 2k HP. With a hood, you got to keep in mind that Flesh Heap also gives you magical resistance. So this guy's just impossible to kill. He is going to be going for a pipe. Gets a smoke for himself. Pudge players out there, this is we don't see a lot of other players out there. Dendy does this a lot. Misery's doing it right now. Always get the smoke for yourself. And unfortunately, he popped that right under the Hawk.
Oh.
But I mean, you know, what are you going to do? Back up? The high team's going to stay in base?
You know, it's one of these things where Beastmaster, in a lot of cases, can deal with heroes like Pudge and Nightstalker very effectively with that Hawk. Unfortunately, Misery's just been getting so many good runes, like the hastes and the invises, just every rune he needs to set up kills. I don't think I've seen him get a regen or an illusion this game. Now, it also hurts IG's cause that they're not really controlling the runes. They didn't do so early, and now they can't. And look at the confidence of CLG. Into the Roshan pit they go. We saw this last game from them. The Enigma, the Venomancer, just so good at taking that. What's that IG? Maybe I'm getting the teams mixed up. But this combo, you don't need a medallion. You don't need big items. You just need the levels. And this is a free Roshan.
Right, they saw the Pudge smoke. Look at the positioning, right? Chuan is behind the tier 1 on top. He's just hiding. And the entire team on the mid lane for IG is just behind the tier 2. They see it finally. Roshan's very, very low. The Age is going to get picked up here. Tiny blinks in and steals it. He's going to pay for this big time, though, but that's going to allow his team to initiate. Vacuums him upwards here. That's kind of awkward. Hook is going to miss. No, he hits Chuan. Chuan's going to basically be dead. The telekinesis upwards here. We have EMP being dropped down here. Zhou very low. No mana here for the waveform. He does have 5 charges on the wand, but the entire team really, really behind. Misery hates it at this point. He sees Faith, his entire team blocking him. Get out of his way! The hooks! Faith is just running by the trees. Is he going to survive? Swerve, that's not going to miss.
Oh, he's so dead.
Basically dead. There's the hook.
Look at the hook. The hook just does like 2/3 of his health instantly. There's nothing you do if you're Leshrac. You just die.
Yep.
Why, you know, like, what more can you do if you're IG at this point in the game? Ferrari steals the Aegis, he almost survives, and then your whole team gets basically destroyed or sent back to base anyway. They do have a Morphling, but really, this Morphling is nowhere near having an impact. CLG pretty much have what they need to go high ground as well. There's a pipe on the way for Pudge, that should be on the courier. Indeed, it is. There's a mechanism up a Miracle, and there's no Tinker this game like we saw with EG. There is no extremely strong anti-push. They have some AoE spam. Maybe CLG will back off, but CLG is just about at that point where if they want to go high ground, if they want to try to end this game, they have a good chance of being able to do so.
Now, I know we're very far away from that, but I wonder, you know, no matter how this game goes, are we going to see... Well, I mean, if Dire wins, you know, this game, then we're not going to have a Game 3, but let's suppose that Dire loses this game and we're going to go to Game 3. Are we going to see a respect ban to a Pudge? Like I said, traditionally, Chinese teams are very weak against Pudge. Like, they just get shut down. Their team is about positioning and getting small incremental advantages. You don't get those advantages if you get hooked.
I think it really comes down to the lanes. Like, we saw IG, they didn't even have a hero in that bottom lane, and I go back to the World Dota Championships. It was Na'Vi. Who are they playing? I think it was Na'Vi versus DK. Super went mid as Weaver. Alright, so in the first game of that series, or maybe it was the second game, Na'Vi picked a Pudge. I believe it was game 2. This is in Dota 1, by the way. And they just blew DK away. Dendy hit a bunch of amazing hooks. But in the final deciding game, in game 3, DK just picked stronger lanes. Dendy went mid as Pudge. DK picked up a Weaver, super plays that. And the Pudge just did nothing. He got completely shut down in the laning phase. We're seeing how strong Pudge can be with that start, with the good lane, with the good rune control. Frankly, Misery's had a bit of luck, has played fantastically. But there are definitely ways to deal with Pudge. For example, not letting him free farm bottom by himself, and then send the Beastmaster in basically to the jaws of death. I just don't know about the way IG landed. I don't know about the decision to try and go back to bottom after giving the Pudge such a good start. And I really think it comes down to the hero picks. But if they get this hero in this kind of a game with so much to back him up, then maybe it will be big trouble. I think that it's just the draft and the lanes for IG that are really the issue right now.
Alright, IG trying to claw their way back. They are going to be smoke ganking, and, well, they are going to run into a butcher, or a butcher, however you say the name. There's Misery on the high ground. He's going to get roared, and if you do get the kill here, that's a lot of kill, but he's going to be so tanky. What did he steal? Chuan, he stole the meat hook.
Oh.
I gotta say, that's a mistake on Misery's side. You should always rot after hooking when
Well,
there's a Rubik in the game. You should always.
To be
regardless.
fair, that's a lot of chain stun. I'm not sure he had a chance to use it.
No, he didn't even throw a hook earlier. I'm saying...
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Good point. Sorry, I was confused. I was saying, like, I don't know where he toggles rot on, but yeah, Luby's absolutely right. It's sort of like you always cast Clap after Panda ult, even if there's no Rubik nearby at the time. You don't want later on for that to happen. So yeah, great point. And here we go, mid. They're gonna push with this Pudge dead. Well, really, can they, though? Oh, this has all the makings of a disaster! Vacuum in! Black hole on 4! Venomancer ult as well! IG are gonna get wiped! 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually the lone survivor is Chuan. Get the hell out of there. Sorry, guys. I'll see you later, he says.
Uh-oh.
And there's the GG.
There's
Just
a GG
like
being
that.
called, which, by the way, at the start of the team fight, he actually landed a hook on pajkatt, and he just landed a hook on Venomancer as well, showing that he has some punch plays himself, but unfortunately not enough. Misery too big. That black hole was a nail in the coffin, and a vacuum. Well, we're gonna go to game 3, so we're gonna get my question answered very quickly, which is, will IG respect ban that punch?
Will IG
or will they
stop?
pick stronger lanes to do it?
Will IG leave heroes like Darkseer, Invoker for pajkatt, even the Enigma for Miracle in the pool again? I mean, that's the other
they're
thing.
banning snipers, so I think they could find a room for a Pudge ban if they really want to do so.
That's a great point. And, you know, maybe that's the only hero that they have to be worried about. I gotta say, hell of a game 2. I don't know how game 3 could possibly top it. Ladies and gentlemen, your Beyond the Summit World Tour Grand Finals, presented to you by dotacommentaries.com, Luminous, and LD, David and David together. We have one more game, and then that's it for our official broadcast until the International 2 preliminaries. Oh my goodness, I'm losing it right now, man. Game 3 coming up soon. Misery Pudge, so strong in game 2. I hope to God we see it again. Somehow I doubt we will. But that's going to do it for game 2, guys. Stay tuned. Game 3 coming up soon.